lot of minds to be able to create content, entertain people, but more so create talent out of those who have the passion to be able to make impact in their own chosen careers. And DSL is also on social media, so go check him out, especially on YouTube where he has his videos. Go watch them, like them, so that the streaming platforms also could be well patronized. And talking about social media, we're also available on social media. TV3 Ghana, always go search for us. We are particularly on the streams, and when we're streaming, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or TikTok, please make sure you join us, or even X as well. Twitter. Now, I'm used to Twitter as always, but it's X now, and so let's have your mind on that. For those who have joined us, we're grateful. Let me say good morning already to Alhaji Jibril of the National Security Apparatus in the Tema Enclave, and then also Edmond Combat, who is a legal practitioner, a lawyer by profession, but now the managing director for the Tema Oil Refinery, as well as Alhaji Mustafa, his deputy, doing some great work so far. We wish you all the best for the day, Edmond Combat. But let me say good morning to those who have joined our stream. And Yemole Yemo. Yemole Yemo lives in the UK, the virtual wife of Jebuntie Zato. Don't worry, just teasing you. Yemole Yemo says that, Charlie, why do you accommodate Zato all the time? I said we need divergent views. So Yemole Yemo in the UK, good morning to you. Great lady when you get to encounter her. Prince Nani York as well. We have Mensa Majid from Bichim joining us. Yesuto, I see you as well. And all those regular Money and all those who tend to Kanati. Bongo Bedia Akon, great guy. Agongo Roger, wishing all the best. Samuel Kate, please share the stream. Let's have some great conversations. Inshira, Ba, K, Ofori, and all those who tend to watch us. I see Mr. Dogbachi also, the Yima. It's been a while. Wishing all the best for Umar Muhammad. But please share the stream. Let's have some great conversations this morning. And the conversations really are tried. Very easy for all of us to assimilate and also appreciate. The minority apparently have been reacting to the media budget review, so to speak, and the sum of all their narrative is that the economy managed by John Dramani Mahama, the president, his vice, the rest of the team, but particularly spearheaded by the finance minister, Dr. Kesiola Tuforsen, so far they've experienced, is worse than what they bequeath to the current administration. And Dr. Wall has been saying a lot, and reduction in the size of government, etc., all those ones, and big criticism, so to speak. Samuel Inti Ocho, I don't know what you make of that. You're joining us on the stream, but we have cash out. You go with the Shoko stand 4399. Let's have some great conversations. Just choose option 2. Today we're giving to 10 people 10,000 Ghana cedis. So become one of those people who will get to enjoy. Share the stream. Let's have some great conversation so far. Now, Godfrey Dami, the former Attorney General, is criticizing the current Attorney General over his utterances publicly made in those press conferences or interactions regarding whether past cases or current cases, claiming that they are laced with untruths being peddled by Dr. Dominic Ayene. I don't know what you think about it. We'll discuss that as well. But let's get some of those insights from Parliament, and then we'll come to discuss some of those ones. The minority criticizing the economy managed so far by the President as well as the Finance Minister, Dr. Kesiola Tuforsen. A string of instances.
The government praised itself for a number of unearned achievements. The minister stated, for example, that Ghana's public debt to GDP ratio as at the end of June 2025 was 43.8%. He compared that with the 61.8% at the end of December 2024, and thereby stating that the public debt as a percentage of GDP reduced by 18% in just 6 months. The minister said that. He also said that Ghana's foreign debt as a percentage of total public debt declined from 57.4% at the end of 2024 to 49% in 6 months. That this has significantly improved Ghana's debt sustainability, and that our debt to GDP ratio is at a 5-year low. The question we ask the minister is, how much of Ghana's public debt has the government repaid since they assumed office? How much? Zero. They haven't repaid any of Ghana's debt. And so, if the debt to GDP ratio has reduced, how is the minister able to claim that they have done magic? Yet they have not repaid any of Ghana's debts. It is no secret to any of you in the media the painstaking efforts the MPP government made to restructure our debt, particularly with our external commercial creditors. That led to outright debt cancellation of $5 billion and a debt service savings of $4.7 billion. So when we talk about reduction in the debt stock, which then will reduce our debt to GDP ratio, this is what we are talking about. But apart from this, what else has the new government done in terms of reducing our debt stock? On the exchange rate situation, the minister indicated that, and we all heard it. He said, "Sidinu apiki." That's what he said, isn't it? The developments in the foreign exchange market under this administration are deeply troubling. We are witnessing persistent arbitrage between the interbank market and the Forex Bureau, alongside a growing scarcity of foreign exchange. Perhaps the minister should know that, yes, Sidinu apiki, but Abochi get the dollar, as my brother Honorable Adongo once said.
Dr. Adam, that's Amin Anta Adam, there, a former finance minister, currently a member of parliament as well. But quite interesting a position they've taken. Lawanda Kuto, thank you for joining us. Dr. Azamuti Jabunti Zato, good morning to you as well.
Good morning, Roland.
And then also Solo, good morning.
Good morning.
But what's the position of government so far since the minority reacted to the budget, Wanda?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me use this opportunity to say a very good morning to our listening public. I must say, this is a very simple matter. One, you must ask yourself, what is the untruth? This is a government that campaigned on oral, Operation Recover or Loot. The people of Ghana, having listened to our message, voted us into power.
Yeah.
For 7 months. We've been running for the past 7 months.
The economy. We're focusing on the economy.
Of course, I'm coming to that. I'm just laying the foundation.
Okay.
We've been running. And as part of the accountability series, the AG comes out and said, look, having taken office, these are the steps that we are taking to recover the loot that we promised you. Then you get a former attorney general come out and say, look, the AG is peddling falsehood. I must say, to be very honest, as somebody who believes in constitutionalism, criminal law, I know that it's very difficult to prove menstrual, right? The guilty mind. It's very difficult. However, if you have a government that wants to give information out for public interest, how can you come and say the AG is peddling falsehood?
Yeah.
We raised issue about plea bargaining.
Yeah, we'll come and talk about that, but let's focus on the substantive issue that we're raising. And we want to talk about the minority criticism of the economy. It's not on the bill, though, but that's what we want to focus on. Why do you think that the minority is criticizing government for the way they've managed the economy over the last 6 months? That's our first question we want to deal with.
I think that they are just doing simple politics. Because the former finance minister, for example, claims that we've not done any payments. It's not true. We've done statutory payment. Domestic bond holders have been paid. And you if you recall, the previous administration introduced what they call the debt restructuring program.
The DDEP.
Yes.
The domestic debt restructuring.
Yes.
And then they did the external one as well.
What was the aim of that program? It was to defer payments. We could not service our debts. It was to defer the payment on the basis of the fact that the economy was weak at the time. And they deferred the payment to subsequent years. And by that, to future governments. And we have inherited a very weak economy. And we are turning the economy around. And we have started making payments. We are servicing the debts. So if they say we are not making payments, it's not accurate. Statutory payments were made. If you look at the media budget, I can point out all the expenses or expenditure that have been made. For example, an amount of $700 million as Eurobond payment has been paid. An amount of 10 billion Ghana cedi to domestic bond holders has been paid. In terms of disbursement, an amount of 2.9 billion Ghana cedi to District Assembly Common Fund has been paid. An amount of 9.1 billion to the energy sector for stable power supply has been paid. So in terms of expenditure, we are doing a lot of expenditure. Yet, look at the exchange rates, look at depreciation, and even the reduction. And I always say that most public sector workers, their salary always remain constant. So if prices drops, then their purchasing power increases. So in terms of the economy, it is abundantly clear that the government is on the right path. Thank you.
And Dr. Zato, why has the minority taken this position? Clearly, when the narrative based on the indicators so far experienced seem to be pointing differently.
Good morning to you, Roland, and good morning to our listeners. One of the most important and significant political lexicon that people have used over the years is a term or a phrase that was coined by James Carville. James Carville was one of the leading strategists of the Bill Clinton 1992 campaign in the United States. And he says it is the economy, stupid. Is the economy stupid had became a rallying point that rallied President Bill Clinton from the governor's mansion in Arkansas to the White House. And has become a rallying point of everything. In fact, and if you look at the 2024 elections, a lot of people use the economy. So it was about inflation, it was about economy. People. So the economy is very, very important. And I think today we can state, and I want to state emphatically that today it is the NDC economy stupid. That means that the window for blaming former government for ills of the economy has closed, it's shut down. Because now we can say that it is the NDC economy. You've come, you've seen everything, you've passed a budget, and you've implemented a budget, you've done a budget review, a post review, you want to so let's do that. My point is that the point that we keep blaming previous governments for ills of the society is lazy. And so I hope that now the debate will move away from that. We'll move away from saying that, no. Now let's see that everything the NDC is saying, that it is now the NDC economy, and that don't blame previous governments for whatever, because doing that is just lazy, it doesn't help us at all. The economy has some good spots, and I will not sit here and pretend that there are things that are not good in the economy. No, I won't do that. That would be disingenuous. One, the interest rate, the exchange rate is good, it's favorable. I will not sit here and say it is not. It is, that's helped. Inflation has come down, it has helped, again. And then our debt to GDP rates have all helped. So once again, I will not sit here and say there are no highs in the economy. There are highs in the economy, and we must appreciate that. The problem we are facing is that governments are sometimes like kids. They don't like to share success stories. They don't like to share good news. So they like to hoard all the good news. And then, if possible, blame opposition for everything that goes bad. And that is why we find ourselves in this checkered football field of everybody trying to claim credit. Remember, so far nobody is trying to claim failure. So far nobody is trying to claim, say that, oh, this is bad, we did it. Everybody is trying to claim credit, saying that the good part. In other words, everybody wants the good part. So those are the good parts, as I said. There are good parts. The city is doing well, inflation is down, and all that. So there are highs, and then there are also lows. Let's also understand that. In fact, we can begin to exercise. Let's look at that before we come to why the highs and the lows. And that is a question that the former finance minister ended with. Yes, the city is doing very well against the dollar. That's true. Yes, inflation is down. But the question is, we have seen people complain about the lack of dollars in the system. You've seen businessmen, people who genuinely need the dollar for business, they walk into a bank, they say there's no dollars. You come behind the bank, Abuja has the dollar. This has been happening for a very long time. It's not an NDC problem. It's not everybody. It has been happening. Why do we still have that happening? Why is it still that the people, the commercial banks, do not have the money? Listen, I didn't see any strong or extraordinary measures announced by the finance minister to tackle this menace. We've never tackled it. And
okay,
it's important.
So not reading the streets and then the black market of those who tend to trade in it.
So that's the point. Because even in fact, there's a difference between its availability and lower or different rate and its inability.
And that's
unavailability. It's a very important thing. We, as a country or as a Minister of Finance, we need to see how the reset agenda addresses that. Secondly, is the different rates. As you know, the Bank of Ghana gives commercial bank at a lower rate. Is it 10.7 or even, let's say, 10.11? The commercial banks sell it out at around 11 or 12, somewhere there. But we also don't know the actual rate is what Abuchi determines. Why is it so? Why is it that we have $1, about 3 so far? I can understand the rate by which the Bank of Ghana gives it to the commercial banks. I can understand that. I can understand that the rate that the commercial banks give out to lenders. But I don't understand why there is that significant difference between what is in the formal system and what is outside there. And if we do not check that, it's going to derail all these efforts. So we need to say that how come we have those two different rates? It's important for us to look at. Then there's the issue of spending. You can talk about has government released monies for spending. You can talk about the fact that there's an argument that we are not spending. In this argument that we are spending, we are still spending. I thought that this budget review would have answered some nagging questions, some very, very important questions. The NDC ran on some 3 or some 4 very critical policy issues in the last government.
Which are?
1, 24-hour economy. Very, very important. And the aspect of the 24-hour economy that the NDC food soldiers are interested in, the ordinary Ghanaians, everybody's interested in, is the fact that the one job 3 shifts. Because it was claimed that it is the solution to solving the unemployment problem. So that, for instance, if you are an accounting student sitting in WA, or a finance student sitting in WA, you have no job, you were hoping that if Ghana Commercial Bank starts running 3 shifts, then maybe you may get a job there. That if others do that, but this budget review has not told us how much.
Let me ask you. And
can I just finish the point?
For many of your narrative, you say you lived in Canada, and I believe that they also practice some form of a rollback all-round economy in terms of the way it revolves. Would you say that if you inherit an economy by 2 quarters, you would need to roll over a program that would need to be engineered organically without tackling the fundamentals of the economy, which are very weak as you inherited?
I don't understand.
Okay, so basically that you have to pay liabilities. You restructured your debt domestically.
Yes.
You have to make sure that some liabilities or delays in statutory payment, you have to reset those payments in Wales, whether it's for DACA, which is the District Assembly Common Fund, whether it's for capitation grant for teachers, etc. You need to reset that before you think about formalizing that 24-hour economic structure, even though some entities have started. Which would be the option of the minority if they were in government? Let's say there was a...
I don't know the option of the minority. Okay. This is what I know. We've been told that the budget was supposed to deal with these issues, and we've been told that the budget reforms or the revised or the what was presented in Parliament is supposed to address it. And I'm making policy questions, not necessarily financial or monetary questions, no, policy issues. This was the rallying point of the NDC that, listen, and we've seen that how much money has been released to operationalize, especially this one job, 3 shift things. How much money has been released for it? In the whole of this, how much money has been released for it? Yes, District Assembly Common Fund has been released. Yes, most of the statutory ones have been released. But this was one of the biggest promises. And we're told that incentives will be given to individual businesses to do this. So far, that aspect. So if you are an NDC food soldier, or if you are an unemployed Ghanaian, and you were hoping that you will get news on this one job, 3 shifts things to happen, you've been disappointed. You've not seen that. The second thing has to do with the Women Development Bank. Again, it was touted as one of the biggest policies to help our women, our hard-working women who may face structural, institutional, or even legal barriers in getting access to credit. We're told that the coming of the Women Development Bank was going to help cure that, because it was going to be made women-friendly, and it was going to help remove some of the barriers to help women get access to credit to do that. And first of all, in the budget, the amount that was released for it, everybody has told us was woefully inadequate, woefully and pathetically inadequate. We agree with that. But so far, even in this season, we have not been told how much have you released to try to operationalize that. Right from the day of the budget up to today, we've not been given an update on the Women Development Bank. We've not been told how far is it going, where is it located, does it have a headquarters, are they building a structure, are they putting the institution, has somebody been hired to start running it? Nothing about it. And there are other things. So the question that people are asking is that, yes, the big ticket policy issues on the NDC's manifesto, and the person, they are not investing, they are not releasing funds for these big issue ticket things.
Okay.
And so it becomes a very big problem to ask. You talked about...
Just wrap up for me.
You talked about the issue of debt, our debt stock and what is happening. And this is what I'm saying. Everybody you talk to, every economist you talk to will say that the DDP, the Domestic Debt Exchange Program, has helped to reduce the debt. Everybody says that.
But who took the debt up and then made it unsustainable?
The country, Ghana took the debt up.
Managed by who?
Debts are accumulated over years.
Managed by who?
Managed by
the same minority that was in government.
Okay. When the NDC was leaving power in 2016, they left debt. There was debt left.
Yeah.
So it's not as if,
restructured debt?
It's not as if when the NDC was leaving government in 2016.
Would you say that a restructured debted economy is the same like an economy that already has statutory debts, whether it's external or domestic?
What I would say is that governance is continuous. And what I would say is that governments leave debts and government leave assets. Government leaves liabilities and assets.
Thank you.
Everybody will say that...
Critically, if you look at the differences between what was experienced, let's say over the last 6 months for this current administration, and what has been witnessed over the period by the various individuals within the composition of the minority criticizing the economic governance structure of this administration, would you say there is reality of a stark difference or not? Solo.
Roland, thank you very much. Let me say that I'm very surprised that this morning we are struggling with this matter. I thought the former finance minister was rather claiming credit for what is happening today, because he believes that whatever is happening, the positives are as a result of their actions and inactions in the past.
Is it justified?
How can it be justified? I mean, the total referendum of the actions and inactions was given in on the 7th of December 2024. We must get that straight. And don't let anybody develop forgetfulness syndrome in this country. Either than that, politicians will forever take us for a ride. I mean, somewhere 3 months or so ago, remember Aminanta, who was badly bruised for saying that they were not collecting betting tax.
Yeah,
so he went on some hibernation and he has resurfaced. And resurfaced with another bad position.
He went on hibernation?
Hibernation. He couldn't speak.
Why do you say that?
When we put the facts before him, he had to even apologize at a point in time. The truth of the matter is that the economy was doing an inflation of 23.8% in December. It is also a fact that the economy was in arrears of $67 billion Ghana cedis as of December 2024. It's also a fact that the erstwhile administration committed this country to a total contract of $194 billion. It's also a fact that the energy sector was still owing an amount of $3.1 billion. It's also a fact that we had 91-day treasury at 27%, 182 days treasury at 28%, and so on and so forth. These are facts. So if you are saying you left this and today all these indicators are better off, on what basis would you come back and say that these are your works?
You are claiming they are blowing hot air?
You know, we are in opposition. They are in opposition in the same way my movement is in opposition. But Ghanaians must get the clear distinction. There is a responsible opposition and an irresponsible opposition. These people are behaving as irresponsible opposition.
Why do you say irresponsible?
Because the facts are clear. Is it not true that as we speak today, inflation has reduced from 23.8% to 13.7%? This is how would you argue? Is it not a fact that exchange rate has stabilized? In fact, within the last 4 months, it has appreciated 42% against the dollar, 30% against the British pound, and 25% against the euro. It's a fact. It's a fact that producer price inflation, non-food inflation, and food inflation has reduced drastically. It's a fact that the first quarter of the year has witnessed a GDP growth of 5.3%. These are facts that you cannot, as it were, argue. Now, if their position is that all the things happening around this time were occasioned by their policies, then what it means is that it's always good for the MPP to be in opposition. Because if you are in opposition and your actions are leading to stabilize the economy, and whereas
so how can you say that?
But when you are in opposition, the economy is stabilized, and you are telling us that you are managing the economy from opposition, then it means that the country must pray that
so
you
they
are
should keep being in opposition.
Absolutely.
They are saying that
no,
the
they are the
policy
ones
decision.
saying, no, they are the ones saying, not me saying it. Because if you are in opposition and you are saying that your actions and inactions in the past is what is keeping the economy stabilized, why must we pray that you come to power? That we would rather pray that you are always in opposition so that you would aid in stabilizing the economy. That's the summary of what they have said. And which for me, I don't know, you know, from the 1996 coming, you were in this country, you have taken part actively in our body politic. You remember the days of Konedo Apreku, when the budget was read, within the split seconds, the MPP came out with a shadow budget, diffusing what the government did, giving their clear-cut policies.
Almost in real time.
Real time. Now we have an opposition when a budget is being read, they go about sharing, handouts to diplomatic corps.
Oh, so
you don't know the content.
The budget was read on Thursday.
And they left the budget. They couldn't even have the time to listen to the budget. After meeting CSOs, diplomatic corps, then they came back after to come and give us something. Look, we are all in opposition and we have to be responsible. Our view as a movement for change is that, yes, there has been positives, strong positives that have been shown by this administration. But we believe that this government must not, as it were, use the yardstick of Akufo-Addo as a benchmark. We are setting our own benchmarks for them to follow. Because if they were going to compare themselves to a junk economy, remember, this country was rated as a junk economy.
You mean by 2022?
In fact, by the time they left, we were still within the restrictive D. You understand? Which was a junk economy status. When the SWAL administration was taking over, they took over an economy that was rated as B. You left an economy that was rated as a junk. So if today is a B minus, it means we have not even reached the levels that we were in 2016. We have rather retrogressed and not progressed. We are way back.
We are back?
But this was an administration that took us to an inflation of 54%, brought us back to somewhere 23%. And they said we should praise them. Ghanaians, shine your eyes and begin to go for a responsible opposition. We believe as a movement that you have to, as it were, we as a country must set new standards for this administration. We believe that inflation must come to a single digit, interest rate must come to a single digit, the forex, there has to be stability in there for it to propel creation of jobs, which was one of the key issues that we took to election 2024. They have to deal with issues of galamsey, deal constructively with corruption as we will be coming there. These are what the Ghanaians...
Godfrey Damian and some of the AG's comments.
Absolutely. And also begin to invest in real sectors of the economy. We enumerated 10 pointers that invest in automobile, invest in agriculture, invest in cashew, invest in cotton. Have you seen a lot of people migrating from north down? Go to Tamale. It used to be a place that people were investing greatly in cotton production. What happened to it? We believe that that thing must happen. And not just to come and praise yourself that whatever good thing happening to the economy was as a result of your policies. What policies? We don't see it.
Well, one of the key arguments that Dr. Adam makes an argument for, the former finance minister, is that, well, they've restructured Ghana's debt. That's an achievement.
You took us to, when they came, where we experienced DDEP. In fact, it was the DDEP that caused the former Chief Justice, Sophia Akufu, to go into her lexicon to bring a certain word called pin brain. Pin brain, you know pin brain? Adjudiniswa. Is that these people?
Adjudiniswa.
That the woman told them that as a pensioner, I gave my money to you only for you to tell me that you were not in a position to pay me back.
Pin brain.
We have experienced this. This pin brain thing, this DDEP caused a lot of people to die in this country. They shouldn't annoy us. They should just allow us to be free in the system.
They've been in government before, and so somebody will say their criticism is apt.
We have to criticize, because at the time that we were telling them that what they were doing was not right, they were telling us that they were doing what is right. So they have no moral turpitude to be criticized. It is the movement for change and other Ghanaians who saw the need to criticize those days that has the audacity to criticize, and not those that defended only yesterday to turn around and come and tell us that, look, it is our actions that has led to a stabilized economy. We are not going to accept that, and we must shun it. Every Ghanaian must shun this business of trying to deceive their minds. This is why they call it deception of the mind, and that is what brings in what we call politics.
Pin brain?
Pin brain. Adjudiniswa.
Adjudiniswa. Now, there's a fundamental question that has been asked by Zato, which is that there was a campaign for 24 hours. We know that policy has been launched. There's a secretariat. We have TDC, we have the GPHA, as well as some of the entities like DVA, all gradually rolling out the policy. He said that his side of the political divide, the MPP side, ideally would have wished that straight away you see a proper rollout which will then engulf the whole country and the economy. See results. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I'm happy the MPP are coming with this narrative.
What was the narrative?
Particularly so because, when we established the good board, it was all over that, we are rushing the process and all of that. So if today they are saying that they want things to be moving fast, I'm just happy and praying that they don't shift the goalpost, because we have laid the foundation for the 24-hour economy to kickstart. If you look at the Volta Lake transport, for example, it virtually was on the stage of collapse. When the ferry travels to the northern part, it comes empty because there was no proper structure in place. But the current administration, under the leadership of the Honorable Energy Minister, is
I don't understand. 24-hour economy and the relation is the Volta Lake transport?
Yes, the economy will expand. The economy will expand. And transportation is key under this particular. If you look at the launch of the program, it talks about how the Volta Lake transport comes in seriously. And I'm saying that we do not want them to change the narrative. Because if you look at the establishment of the good board, what the MPP said was that we are rushing the process. In any case, in respect of the Women's Bank, for example, we need to save some banks. We've paid 2 billion for National Investment Bank to be saved. 2 billion Ghana cedi has been paid to save the National Investment Bank. The NDC administration will not state for any bank to collapse, unlike how it happened under the previous administration. The policies that could be implemented straight away within the 7 months has been done. For example, 300 billion Ghana cedi has been paid for the no fee stress policy. 25 million Ghana cedi has been paid for allowances for assembly members across the country. The Ejumara program is underway. 34.5 million Ghana cedi has been paid through the National Entrepreneurship Investment Program. The NAP, the National Apprentice Program, 21 million Ghana cedi has been paid within these 7 months. And like I told you, if the former finance minister is saying that Abochi get the dollar, look, if you want to transfer money out of the country, you don't go to Abochi, you go to the bank. That's how the exchange works.
That the transaction should go through the commercial banks instead, not on the streets.
Yeah, because if you want to transfer money...
But he's talking about enforcement. Who does the enforcement? I wonder.
If you want to do your wire transactions and stuff, you don't go to Abochi. You go to the banks for your monies to what? To be sent to the banks across the country, to the wire system. So if you say, Abochi get the dollar, the question is, what Abochi go take the dollar do?
If you say Abochi get the dollar,
what you go take the dollar do?
What Abochi go take the dollar do? That's your response.
Yes, at the end of the day, if you want to do transfer now, if you want to do importation into this country, you want to make payments, you go to the banks and do wire at the existing bank rate. You don't go to the Abochi. So if you are making an argument, Abochi get the dollar, what Abochi will take the dollar do?
How do you respond to some of these conversations? Solo is virtually saying that the opposition has seen a stark reality between what was bequeathed to the current finance minister, the government in general, and how vast and the differences are in terms of the management of the economy. Just as a wrap-up, before we move to Godfred Dame and his utterances, in relation to what the AG is saying.
The DDEP was painful, very, very painful.
But your people say it's an advantage.
The DDEP was painful, very painful. A lot of Ghanaians suffered for that. But nobody in this country or no economist can say that it did not help, and it has not helped in our current debt stock or current debt situation. Nobody can say that. It was a very, very painful medicine. It was very, very, the haircut, it was painful. But again, you cannot say it did not help now. Those two arguments can be true. Yes, it was painful, but it has helped. In fact, it is probably one of the main reasons why our debt to GDP ratio has improved. It's not any magic by anybody. It's not any magic. The finance minister did not do magic. No, you can draw a direct causal link between the DDEP and the current debt to debt exchange ratio. That is a fact, and we must acknowledge it. 2, it's also a fact that the gold for oil policy or program has helped, one, to show up our reserves, because you can actually literally Google the level of our gold reserves, before the the gold for oil program, and what it is as of January when the government left. And you will see that about 80 to 90% of that was accumulated under the gold for oil money. And that has helped to also show up our reserves and also make sure that the city is done well. So one of the things I want to suggest is that please, Mr. Finance Minister, do not discard the gold for oil money policy. It may be renamed, and sometimes it happens like that in public policy. Where
so are you saying that the gold for oil policy is the same as the gold board program?
I've not said that. No, I didn't say that. All I'm saying is that the idea behind it, the intention behind it, was to use the gold both for oil and also to use it to show up our foreign reserves. That's what I've said. And I'm saying that that was a good thing. That was a smart plan. And that we should continue it. I'm sure it may be changed in a way so that it doesn't look like you're just continuing what the former government has done. Yes, you can change it, you can reform it, you can restructure it. But the fundamental idea of using gold to show up our foreign reserves or showing the city is a good idea. No matter how you name it, no matter how you continue that policy, it's a good thing. And I'm happy that we're talking about money's being released. And I see that you are throwing out a lot of figures there. That is good. So what I'm saying is that right now, let's understand. The roads that you mentioned, and the last I sat here and I was very happy with you. Are you
saying they're concocting the figures? What do you mean by they're throwing out the figures?
Again, I've not said that. I've not said, use the word concoct. I've not said that.
I didn't say you used it.
I'm not, okay, they are not concocting.
From your
they are not concocting the
responses.
They are not concocting. What I'm saying is that, for instance...
What do you mean by they are throwing the figures out there?
Wa, Heng, Tumu to Chilega Road. How much has been budgeted for that particular road? When will it end? That is something that is genuine want to know. 2, Tumu, Golu, Hamili Road. How much has been budgeted for it? How much has been released for it? And when will it start? When will it be completed? That is a very simple thing to know. Bole, Sola, Tunakala, all the way to Wa Road. How much has been budgeted for it? How much has been released? Those are very simple, germane questions that we are asking. It is not to say that, see, it's okay to say that we are going to do this route. It's okay to say that we will do this. But the question that we're asking is that, again, let's move away from the rhetoric. Part of what I've realized is that mostly when we are in opposition, we campaign in rhetoric. Mostly when we are in opposition, we campaign in poetry. But when you come into power, then you are faced with what? Prose. You govern in prose, and now you are governing in relativism. That is relative. My point is that let's be consistent. Even if you want to deny the former government any credit, independent analysts there, independent economists there will tell you that these two policies, no matter what you say about them, they were painful. DDP was painful, but it is helping. That's helped in the debt reduction. 2, the gold for oil money was helped and it's still helping, and it's one of the two things showing up. So my point is that,
Dr. Zato, how do you say where a country, we almost became like, we were like Sri Lanka, just devoid of having citizens entering the presidential palace, etc. And we were third at the time in ranking to the economies that could not sustain their debts and then also pay their creditors. Are you saying that the decision of the former government, now the composition of those individuals who make up the minority, to make our debt unsustainable, go to the IMF late, getting the debt restructured, is a good decision for Ghana?
Again, I like how you put the question. Let me answer. My answer is this. When you are governing a country, when this government came inside, they said they were not going to increase any taxes. They said we're not going to impose taxes, right? But they were faced with challenges. Those challenges forced them to go to Parliament and the certificate of emergency to put the D-levy. That wasn't part of what they did. That wasn't it. The country faced challenges. You see, I don't want to rehearse where we came from with COVID. I don't want to rehearse where we came from with all these external problems. I don't want to rehearse them.
You mentioned that, and you're saying...
Yes, but I mentioned that, within the context...
You're saying in reference to what Dr. Adam says.
Roland,
says.
I mentioned
that the debt restructuring was a good thing. And that is a policy that the former government needs to be praised for. That's what you said.
What I'm saying
referencing
is that
him.
The debt...
And I'm asking you a specific question, which you've decided not to answer. But again, just to bring you back on the narrative.
The debt restructuring...
Are you saying that the decision, by way of the economic policy, to wait till our debt became unsustainable, where we had to go to the IMF, go to external creditors, domestic creditors, to restructure them, is a good policy? It's a specific question.
Roland, what I'm saying is that the decision to restructure the domestic debt has helped with the debt to GDP ratio we are seeing today.
All right.
That is a fact. Nobody can deny that it helped. Two, the decision to use the gold for oil money has also helped to shore up the currency now and to also shore up our reserves. Those are also facts. Governments face challenges as they govern. And so that when you face challenges, you must come out with, you must be adaptable.
Was good.
DDEP has helped today in our debt to...
DDEP was good.
DDEP has helped today. Okay. It was a necessary medicine. It was a painful medicine to address a particular unique situation within a particular time. It did what it was supposed to do.
You see, so good for our policy, debt restructuring was good.
It's the more reason.
Or was helpful.
It's the more reason why the NPP must be in opposition for a long time. What is the DDEP? You must explain to the people of this country.
Domestic debt system. It means you can't pay your credit, those you owe.
Those you owe. You came, you overborrowed, and as a result of that, you couldn't pay people that had willingly loaned their monies to the government. And now, it came as a result of our decision to go to the IMF. It was part of the house we were going to reduce our debt. And guess what? Ghana's program to the IMF was actually written by Ghanaians. We gave them the policy, or we gave them the agreement that this was how we're going to reduce our debt, stabilize everything. And who led our negotiations? This whole IMF thing that we have been bundling around, the negotiations were led by his boss, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So if the DDEP was that painful, then it means Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia deliberately
this is our last line.
Unleashed severe pains
that can be fair
on the people of this country. As you yourself, Ghana's delegation, they were led by 3 key government officials. The vice president as the head of the economic management team, Ken Ofori-Atta, and Governor Addison. These were the 3 key people that led our negotiation.
But it was a finance minister.
No, it was no. According to the, get this. I wish I was looking for the IMF executive summary to read to you
the document.
They told us that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia led the negotiations. They gave them the program, and the IMF endorsed the program. So I am happy today that you are telling the world that indeed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia unleashed that pain, as painful as it is. He unleashed it to the people of this country.
The discussions were led by Ken Ofori-Atta, the finance minister. Well, let's
no. It was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Let's go to the executive summary of the IMF staff level agreement. Just read it and you will see what I'm talking about. Nobody's here to answer to it. Now again, he talks about gold for oil, another disaster. Gold for oil. First of all, gold for oil was brought in just to stabilize the oil sector. You know, we were experiencing erratic prices of
due to forex differentials.
Yes, as a result of the mismanagement of the economy. Once again, the gold for oil could not, as it were, stabilize that sector. Again, recently, we were told by the Bank of Ghana's financial statement that as a result of that bogus policy, that my brother is saying that it was a good policy, Ghana lost a whooping 1.82 billion Ghana cedis. So who would come and tell you that a policy that led us to a loss of 1.82 billion is a good policy? Who said that? We must not go there. People must understand and must accept that yes, they goofed. Go back, restructure yourself, renew yourself, get a good policy, come just like the way the movement for change, we have a great transformation plan out of which we are implementing from opposition, telling the people of this country what we will do. Get such a plan and apologize to the people of this country. That is what anybody does. Anybody that
they shouldn't take credit for anything.
What are they taking credit for? If they had
debt
anything,
restructuring,
with that, you
gold for oil policy.
You destroy me, and later you come and tell me that because of the destruction, that's why you are stabilized. What is this? You destroyed me. More than 800 adults, according to Dr. Michael Ejekum, died because of the DDEP. And you say it's a good policy. Mikado, did you not hear him? Did you not listen to him? We will continue to drum into your ears what you did. For the people not to look sight of it. Because you see, if you don't take care, they will quickly come and deceive you. As though they are angels. You understand? Look, Amin Atta himself, when he was made the Minister of Finance, his first public outing was to go to Malaysia, to go and promise Otunfo that he was going to finish the KJTR phase 2 immediately. The Konfanoche baby unit and the Kumasi International Airport, as we speak, has it been done? Don't let them deceive you in opposition. We will provide constructive criticism where it's due. At the moment, they are doing something positive. That's this current administration. You must praise them for that. There is nothing wrong with praising people who are doing well. But for Christ's sake, the MPP is not in power. They are not in power. Are they going to take credit for the 1 cedi levy on petroleum that was introduced by this administration? When the levy is coming, you are out there saying that it's a bad thing. When there is something positive, we say we should give you the credit. What sort of double-faced politicians, dishonest politicians do we have currently? We will stop it and make sure that the Ghanaian is treated to honest engagements.
Double face?
That's what is happening. Have you found the IMF executive summary? And read for your people to hear whether it was not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia who led our engagements. They met 4 times in Accra, in Washington, in Accra, and back in Washington. And he gave it to them that, look, let us give our elders, the elders in society, haircut. For the first time in the history of this country, our elders went to the Ministry of Finance to pick it. The finance minister didn't even look at them. They warned that they would sleep there. So what are we talking about? We will not allow anybody to deceive the minds. Because what has happened or what happened in the last 8 years must never be repeated in our body politic. So bad for us as a country.
Okay. Let me just go to the...
You have seen it?
The PCP Tobo.
Aha.
Okay, discussions took place in Accra in September and in Washington, D.C. in October, and in Accra 2022. The mission held discussion with Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Minister of Finance Oforiatta, Governor of the Bank of Ghana. So this is what you were...
Yes.
But it doesn't say that
he led it in our government architecture, wherever you see the Vice President and the Minister. No, but what are you doing? No. Read it loud for everybody.
Okay, let me
Can you read it loud?
This is good.
Let me read it. The discussions took place in Accra in September, in Washington in October,
Yes.
and in Accra in December 2020. The mission held discussion with the Vice President,
The Vice President?
Minister of Finance,
Yes.
Governor of the Bank of
Absolutely.
like you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay. So because so
No, but why would Dr. Bawumia run away from his...
No, but the point is that
And he was telling that
when you have a Vice President
Just be dealing with it.
in the government, in the architecture,
Solomon, Roland, you see, there's some...
let him learn.
what you see, you have finished with it. When you have a government architecture, wherever you see the Vice President.
So the Vice President led the discussion.
Absolutely, it
The
cannot be.
delegation. He led the delegation.
Absolutely, you cannot have a Vice President and the Minister of
Leading a
Finance,
delegation.
and you say that the Vice President will be playing a second fiddle to anybody. He led it.
No, but is my prof saying that Dr. Bawumia want to take himself out?
No, he wants to
has-
take him out. He will not be allowed to take himself out.
Please, let's pose it. It was Solo who made a categorical statement.
Yes, he led
That
the
the Vice
delegation.
President leading a delegation in discussions
He led
with
the
the IMF between the period 2022 and 2023.
Yes.
Gives him the conclusion that the Vice President led the discussions.
Yes.
The Vice President led the delegation. That's why I want to clarify that.
Can I say something? Look, this is fine.
If you say something, they'll say.
No, but you've just self-checked him. If I said that, Solomon would have said, Joshua, that you are a liar. If I said that, he would have told me that I'm a liar. But you just fact-checked him.
What fact check is there? No, we need to put it in place.
You are putting it in place.
Yes.
You have fact-checked him right here live that the Vice President, there's nothing in the document.
What are you talking about?
No. Okay. So you teach at the Political Science Department of the University of
I've not
Ghana.
even made the point.
If you
I've not even made the point.
if you lead a delegation of the University of Ghana Political Science Department
Yes.
to have a discussion with the Political Science Department of the Syracuse University in the
Yes.
United States,
Yes,
would
yes.
you say that you are the leader of the delegation, and so pinpointedly, when you're sitting at a delegation table with the Syracuse University officials, you will lead the discussions?
Thank you.
Please answer my question. Let's say, okay, maybe you don't like your.
No, it's not that I don't like.
Maybe you don't like. Maybe you don't like the way I pose the question.
No, I'm trying to answer the question. I'm not being allowed. I'm being tackled left, right, center. I don't even know where to start.
Nobody.
Let me make the point.
So let me rephrase the question. Let's say I lead a delegation of Media General that is made up of, let's say, Shadrach Abe, my producer, Anita, Cookie T, and the rest, and we go to the BBC as the head of the delegation, would you say I will be the one leading the discussions, or they will choose Cookie T or Shadrach Abe, the producer, to lead the delegation?
It depends, and it's contextual. Let me tell you why. If today I'm leading, go back to the political science point. I know you don't want me to go to the point I was trying to, but the point is this: if I did what Solomon did, you would have called me a liar. He did it. I won't call him that. If I did that, no, he did the last time. The last time, if he did that, you said Dr. Bamiel led the discussion. Dr. Bamiel did not lead the discussion.
He did what?
He didn't lead the discussion.
So he was part of the discussion.
You reference the statement, you reference the document, and based on that document, he didn't. So you lied.
So
you said he led the discussion. We said we should reference the document. We reference the document. The document is not true.
So the document.
You read it.
So the
when you read the
document. And to be
today,
truthful,
I don't want to have a banter with you. I don't really want to have a banter with you.
You mean with him or me?
With him.
Okay.
I don't want to. Because that's why I when you made the point. Today, I really didn't come to have a banter. That's why I stayed quiet.
Let me bring some water. It looks like the discussion is hot now. So I'll reposit my question.
Dr. Bamiel was the chairman of the Economics.
No, please. So he made a comment, and as a good host, I need to fact check.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
And what was the result of the fact check?
So I pulled out the IMF document.
Yes.
It says that between the period 2022 and 2023, they had discussions.
Yes.
With.
Yes.
Dr. Mahmoud Bamiel.
Yes.
Specifically, the finance minister,
yes.
Kenneth Friata.
Yes.
And then the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I then drew a scenario that if you lead a delegation of the University of Ghana Political Science Department to the Syracuse University in the United States of America, would you say that somebody else within the delegation in order or non-order of seniority would be the one to lead the discussion with the Syracuse University?
Do you want a yes or no answer, or you want a contextual answer?
I want a yes or no answer.
I won't give you a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Because there's context.
Then we'll not have the
context here matters that if we go and we are discussing things about international relations, if I'm head of I'm not an expert in international relations, I can lead the delegation, then the expert in international relations will lead the discussions. So I'm saying it depends.
No, what are you doing?
No.
That's what he's saying.
He says that I wanted a yes and no answer,
but the explanation is given
in contest. Okay, so in contest, what would it be that you lead a delegation and somebody else will be leading discussions? Because normally, if you're leading a delegation, you lead a discussion.
No, it's not normal. It's not normal. There's a point I have to make. First of all, he said Dr. Bamiel led the economic discussions in the distance, and he referenced a document. That document did not say Dr. Bamiel led, so he lied.
What is the lie about it? What did the document say?
One. Two. Dr. Bamiel was involved in the discussions. I'm not disputing that.
As what?
He's the vice president, chairman of the economic management team. He was part of the discussions. And secondly, thirdly, the point I'm really trying to make is this, and you must understand it. I didn't come here today to have another banter with you, Solomon.
There's no banter here.
You are sitting here and you throw invectives, and I tried as much as not to do that. When I respond, it's not good. People don't want to see that ugly side, but it's okay. Let's go back. The point, again, the bigger point I'm trying to make here is that the decisions that were taken as a result of those negotiations, painful though they were, difficult, and I agree. But look, if you call His Excellency Dr. Bamiel today, he will tell you that the domestic debt program was painful. He will acknowledge he has done that. It was difficult, it was painful, but it was necessary at that time. And I'm saying that today, that decision has helped with our debt to GDP ratio. That's the point I'm making.
So
and which is a fact.
Your contestation is regarding his categorical comments.
It's not my contestation. He said Dr. Bamiel led the discussion with IMF. That was a lie.
It was never a lie.
So you're contesting that statement?
I'm not contesting. I'm stating as a matter of fact that what he said was a lie.
No. You see?
Okay. So do you think that the IMF will meet the finance minister discussions specifically on debt restructuring, entering a program, and then they will mention Ken Oforiatta, BOG governor, Dr. Mahmoud Bamiel?
Yes.
Okay. They should have done that. Or they could have done that.
You read the document. What did the document say?
It said Dr. Mahmoud Bamiel.
Yes.
Ken Oforiatta.
Yes.
BOG.
Yes. So what's your point?
But you are saying it doesn't draw the conclusion that...
How do you jump from that to that?
No. You see, just to clear your
No, not to, if you clear, I'm also clear.
What are you clearing?
What are you also clearing?
Are you afraid that you will draw your candidate?
I'm saying that if you don't know, I've told you the role you play. I've told you the statement in the role you play.
Do a banter.
Yeah, banter.
I don't want to banter.
Okay.
It's very simple. Your candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was the leader of our discussions. No doubt about it.
Wait, no, prove that. Show me a document that said that.
He says it's not true.
He's saying it's not
No,
true.
you say you reference the document and he just
I dare you to put Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on the phone and let me ask him whether you will not confirm my position.
Outrageous.
What are you talking about?
No, let's put a...
All right, okay, gentlemen.
You said reference the document.
What is the document?
The document didn't say that.
He said what?
Gentlemen.
But I said you reference the document. You said
Gentlemen,
you are taking your candidate out.
Taking him out what?
So he was a party.
Kale, put your mic off for me. Sammy, please put your mic on. Okay, do we have some semblance of silence? Thank you.
We can move on.
All right. So we'll move to the former Attorney General, who has made some categorical statements in reaction to the current Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayini's, overtures, as well as statements he's made publicly in response to his promise to usually address the public on what the efforts are, the attempts have been made to plea bargain, and how far they have gone as a department in relation to cases under the Operation Recover or Loot policy. Well, so the former Attorney General, Godfred Dami, then sharply rebuts and says that the current Attorney General has been peddling untruths. And these are in relation to specific matters of, now, of course, the subject matter of the Richard Jakpa case involving the current finance minister, as well as Unibank, as well as some many others as well. And since then, he's also been increasing the number of times he's been posting on the specific VEX matters. Now, he says the current Attorney General has been banishing falsehood, exposing the ways of the wicked, and so says that he presented documents that also will reflect the narrative as, in his view, we experience them as ordinary members of the public within that period. And it looks like he says he's right, and that the current Attorney General is just not being truthful in relation to those specific cases, whether it's the Richard Jakpa case, the Ato Forson case, and the ambulance trials as well. And then the Unibank one, for which he's filed a nolle prosequi.
Right. So you remember during my introduction, I said we must ask what are the untruths specifically. It is a matter of fact that 10 million Ghana cedi was offered as part of the plea bargain in the Beige Capital case. And the government at the time refused and said they want to go all out to jail people. They went on and they lost the case. Technically, government lost the opportunity to have that amount of money. And that amount of money could have gone into a lot of developmental projects. So if you have an AG who says that, look, oral operation recover all loot, individuals or companies have agreed and are pushing to make some payments to government. And he says that, why not? Let's get this money to push into developmental projects. If you look at the NSS scandal, I'm happy that the investigation is leading us to what we call, there have been a lot of tracing that has been done. Let me just mention some three for you. Silver Opare of Selsona Ventures, over 10 million Ghana cedi has been traced to them. Jacob Yausen of Nyansapo Ventures, over 90 million Ghana cedi has been traced to them. All of the NSS scandal. Brainware Ventures, over 17 million Ghana cedi has been traced to them. Look, if this plea bargaining goes on and all these monies are recovered, I would prefer that we recover money and push into developmental projects. Dr. Jato was Prof was mentioning roads and all of that. We need money. These projects are capital intensive. We need money to prosecute this agenda. So if the former AG comes and says that the Attorney General is peddling on truth, he should come out with more facts for us to appreciate what he's talking about in a larger context. Bryce Simmons made some similar argument quite recently, but even in his statement, if you look at paragraph 6, he credited the AG for taking very good step to use the plea bargaining to recover some monies for the state. And I think that is where our attention, our focus should be on. And to be fair, like I indicated earlier, as a constitutional lawyer, I do not judge people until the court rule on their matter. So I will not sit here and say somebody is guilty or not. But if you look at the facts and persons, companies who are ready to bring out these monies back to the state, then the AG's effort is very, very laudable, and we must commend the AG for its work. Talking about the press conference and all of that, this is a campaign promise, accountability series. We need to let the people know. I mean, we campaign that we will recover all loot. So if this money steps have been taken for all this money to come in, it's only prudent for this to be made out to the Ghanaian people. In any case, it's not only the legal space that we are having this. In other sectors of the economy, you see ministers lining up, informing the public what is being done. The road minister, I understand, has done this. The Honorable Energy Minister has done this. So it's a new phase of governance where we are bringing governance close to the people. Thank you.
And so, Dr. Zato, the former Attorney General then says that, of course, providing specific instances of even when filing dates, etc., were made. Just to paint the picture that it looks like the current Attorney General is on a certain path of trying to create wrong impressions about things that happened in those specific cases as well. What do you say to that?
Okay, thank you. If you look at, I just want to sit back and look at the whole knowledge prosecute thing from a lawyer problem. Because I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a student lawyer. What we are seeing is what I call the weaponization of the knowledge prosecutor to reward friends and punish political opponents. In fact, I would say that so far we have about 7 or 8 knowledge prosecutors. I don't know, maybe you are a lawyer, you can tell me when a sitting Attorney General has issued so many of them. I don't know, in 6 months. I think this is a Usain Bolt race, speed rate at which it is done. Now, coincidentally, all the knowledge prosecutors, almost all of them, 95% of them are to former NDC members. That's just a fact. We're standing trial. That's 2. 1, we are open as a 2. Almost all those benefited from it, even all of them, are former NDC members. That's the second thing we must understand. Third, there are certain things that you said, and you mentioned specifically Godfrey Adomi, he made some speculation that are facts. Yeah. He made some facts. If you say that it took 6 months for somebody to file whatever it is in court, and the person has documented evidence that it took to, I don't know what you can say about that. He said it. It's just a fact that it didn't take him 6 months to do that.
He said they are inaccurate.
And yes, and he actually provided evidence with stamps and everything to show that. Yeah. So the question is, sometimes what happens is this. Secondly, you can go to the point that he said that prosecutors have leverage and can then decide to go by the law. But sometimes the question then is that, what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize recovery or not? Again, in opposition, the main mantra of the NDC was to recover all loot. Recover all loot. It was definite. There was no room there for any wiggling. It was based on that today there are people standing trial. Mustafa Hamid is standing trial because we were supposed to recruit all loot. What's his name? Adubuahin is standing trial because he wanted to recruit all loot. He told us that charges are almost ready for Wintomi to recover all loot. Oral. That was what you promised. Yes. But today, what you are telling us that you have ORS, Operation Recover Some Loot. That wasn't what you promised NDC food soldiers. So those you are confusing or those you are disappointing are your food soldiers. How do they on the one hand reconcile the idea that you want to recover all loot, but then now you are recovering some loot, and that recovering some loot is good because recovering some loot is a genuine prosecutorial power. Why don't we help educate our people? Why don't we help educate the public? Look,
on the policy directive.
On the policy directive. Because
you think the ORA has changed to ORS?
Yes, Operation Recover Some Loot and then share the rest.
ORSL.
And then share the rest. My point is this. We need to be able to come out.
Dr. Zato.
Yes. I was in the middle of...
Yes,
was in my flow.
You have ended. So, Dr. Zato, in the specific instances that you mention the intention of the policy as trumpeted by the NDC in opposition, which is being actualized by way of the policy direction by the Attorney General in government. Would you say, before you do recoveries, you have to go to court, make arrests, go to court, press charges, make sure that before the substantive cases begin, perhaps, we as non-lawyers, you have to then undertake the actions that you could, plea bargain, discussions with the accused persons or potential accused persons as to which monies they can be able to bring back, etc. Is that not the intention of the Operation Recover All Route? Where in the specific instances, whether it's a national service or is Mustafa Hamid through the Office of the Special Prosecutor, following those plea bargain procedures, they'll be willing to bring what they can and can recover their loot, specifically, allegedly, to the coffers of the state?
Okay, we've not been told that it is part of the broader policy.
But that's what they are doing. That's why I'm asking you the specific answer.
That's what they are doing, but they've not said that's what they are doing. In this particular case you've mentioned, we've not been told that that alternative is on the table. In this particular case you mentioned, we've not been told that we will accept, for instance, we've not been told that if we charge him, I want to me, of any listen, and then we can accept this. You haven't meant that. And again, in opposition, you did not say that. In opposition, you didn't leave any room to wiggle. You campaign in absolute terms. Absolutely will recover all loot. Today, you are practicing relativism, where you are saying that it's relative to whatever comes up. I'm again saying it's at the discretion of the Attorney General. But when the Attorney General is wielding such a powerful weapon, and if it seems that all the beneficiaries of that weapon are one political party, and all the people that don't are under political party, you then begin to understand: is it about justice? Or is it about rewarding or punishing your political opponents or friends? And that is where the issue centers on. For me, the lawyers will deal with the Attorney General Dame's response to this. But there's one thing that I agree with, and this table, and this is the first I'm going to mention your name, I agree with Solomon, that anybody who is found or who has done something wrong, if you're accused of misappropriating public funds, you must be available and ready to raise your hand to defend yourself. That's accountability. I believe in that. I've also said I believe in regime accountability and post-regime accountability. But where the Attorney General is behaving as if I know you and you are my friend, you will get a good deal. If I don't know you, you are not my friend, you are going to jail, it's not fine. There's a final point I want to make here. Investigations are expensive. Investigations are difficult. You pour a lot of money and a lot of resources to investigate crime. And even the prosecutions too are expensive. How this Attorney General is currently doing that? They are wasting a lot of money, manpower to do a painstaking job. How would you feel if after all this human effort, tomorrow there's a new Attorney General, he passes another prosecutor? It means that, I don't want to call it costing financial loss. It means all the effort, all the time, all the energy, everything put into it has been thrown into a dustbin. It's not nice. I want to believe in a system where these things were not done. Because right now, there's no way you can convince anybody outside there that these people do not get these sweetheart deals because they were former NDC members. You cannot prove that. And that is the thing. I believe that these people got the sweetheart deals because they were former or current ranking members of the NDC, and that is why they were rewarded.
Okay. No, you got your turn now. I'll come back to you if you want to. So he made references to specific instances of the Republic versus Atoisian, and said that they had also entered a plea bargain. He paid 30 million out of the 90, and subsequently there was an application by the AG, and so the gentleman is in jail or imprisonment. And so, at least, if they are saying they are resetting prosecutions publicly, then they should allow him to go. And then if he makes reference to setting our tune of Maslock at the time, and we know what transpired, judgment passed in absentia. And so he says that those efforts were also made there, and it shouldn't be clouding the public utterances by the current Attorney General as if that those attempts and the policy initiative for prosecution were also not intended to make recoveries.
What Godfrey Dame wrote yesterday is what some of us have said in the past, except that he should be the last person to be...
Godfrey Dame.
Godfrey Dame.
Why?
He must also go on hibernation. You see, his own character does not allow some of us to trust whatever he says. He should allow us to be dealing with the NDC at this stage.
Why?
You see, we have not dealt with the issue of match fixing, legal fixing.
What is match fixing?
Negotiating with the witness to get someone in custody until he comes out clean on that tape. he must go into
You mean the
hiding.
secret recordings?
Yes, yes. It's so damning to Godfrey Dame. So damning.
As I recall, what was said in there?
No, he said that, what do you call it, Japa must give favorable witnesses so that, I mean, it will nail Atufosi. So until he is cleared of that wrongdoing, why do you think the judge at that time...
you are making a strong accusation that by his character and person,
yes.
he doesn't have a good reputation.
No,
based on his past actions.
reputation zero.
Zero reputation.
Before me, zero. So please, Godfrey, you say somewhere, let's handle this NDC with care, deal with them constructively. You understand? The moment they enter into the fray, then they destroy everything because he's all released. Read paragraph 9, if you have it, and read the paragraph 9. It will rather give you the indication that the current Attorney General is right. What is there in paragraph 9?
It says the allegation of undue delay in the prosecution of white-collar crime regularly
Yes.
put up by Dr. Ayene as justification for cutting deals in lieu of prosecution
Yes.
is a sham
Yes.
and ought to be rejected by the nation.
Yes.
He continues, the record will again reflect the fact that the inordinate delay in the trial of serious financial crime cases filed against leading members of the elsewhere NDC administration witnessed in this country the past 8 years were all a product of the tactics and machinations of defense counsel, including Dr. Ayene.
Absolutely. So what he's saying here is that lawyers can deliberately delay cases into perpetuity where it will not lead to conviction or retrieval of assets. If his argument is anything to go by, then what it means is that we may never get anything from, what do you call it, Dufour's case. Because then the same tactics...
Because he's accusing being aided by the justice system when they were in power.
As you were in power. But in the same case...
That Ayene was delaying cases.
Delaying case, but it's contradictory. I mean, if you go to earlier paragraphs, he had said that he got convictions in the case involving what? The Bafu Boni, the one at...
Atufosin.
Atuesian.
The NCA case.
NCA case and so. So what method did he use to get...
And then Ationo's case.
You understand? So in one breath, you are saying that
you secure
lawyers...
convictions effectively.
Effectively. In another breath, you say lawyers deliberately delay cases. So if you are going by that, and this current Attorney General also sees that, yes, lawyers can come and delay this case, and so it is better to enter into a plea bargain. Then why wouldn't I take this option? So he himself has shot himself in the foot, and that is why I say, please,
contradictory.
Contradictory. He must just say somewhere. Let us deal with them.
Sit on the touchline.
Absolutely. In 8 years' time or something, when we come to power, we can bring them up. But the point is that last week I said that the decision by this current Attorney General to enter nolle prosequi and giving us reason. The reasons still do not and will not stand the test of time. Because we have a lot of cases pending. He himself said there's one called Rumble in the Jungle that is yet to expose. The National Service, he promised us this month, but he's saying he may not come up because there has been additional information.
Yes, the tracing.
189 million dashes into the Bank of Ghana's account. is unable, we are unable to account for it. And in addition to that, we found 2 checks from the former executive director withdrawing money from it. So it's a cause for concern. He must not create the impression to the Ghanaian people that you commit a crime and 60% is what? Retrieved. That one must not cross anybody's mind. Because we are not going to accept that. Only yesterday, and here let me also thank my leader, Mr. Lanchamati, for issuing that powerful statement to those that got crashed on the road, right from Accra to Gaso. 15 young, able-bodied men.
Productive people.
Productive people died. Why did they die? Because of poor roads. And we have the money sitting in people's pockets. And they say we are going to do what? Look, please, don't even tell us about 60%. And we don't know the related agencies that you had these discussions with. Go for 100+ interest. Go for it. It's the reason why we have engaged you. Go for it. We will not accept any excuses.
So you are saying even the percentage of the recovery is quite, they are low?
But you came to take my money. Look, ask the Attorney General. Whether somebody steals his 100,000 and the person comes in front of him and says, I'm giving you 60,000, he will not slap the person before.
So
the
you are giving him thumbs up, but you say he should go further.
Go further. Look, I like this Attorney General for one thing.
Which is?
And he must not be deceived by anybody who is saying that he must not be running commentary on the cases that is in court. It's a lie.
You think it's a trap?
It's a trap. They want you to stop so that they can unleash their propagandists. Attorney General, even if it will be every hour, come out and speak. Speak. I'm with you on this. I want to help him to succeed.
Public press conferences.
So
it's been criticized by the minority.
But
there is showboating.
But the issues are affecting the minority. The issues are affecting the minority. So why wouldn't they criticize him? Now, what they want to do is to force or tie the hands of this president to get him out, which will be resistant with the last blood. He must go. But on that press release, stating 60%, he must release another press statement that will overshadow what the earlier one. By way of education. By way of the education. Please, 60%, nobody's interested. No.
So you want more, like 100?
Go and take it plus interest and punish them. Bar them from public office. These people, they are killing, they are the reason a lot of innocent people are dying in this country. You understand? That is the only aspect that I disagree with. Yes, I heard his explanations, but I don't want to go with it. I still believe that it will paint a very bad picture, especially when you have huge sums of money that have been taken, that people can take this president and go and just give 60% and go and sit somewhere, because you would have set that precedent. Tomorrow, if the MPP people come and say they are paying 60% and you refuse, they will say, because we don't belong to the same political party with you, that's why you are refusing your offer. And it's the reason why you have the former Attorney General writing long. It's the reason why you have a lot of MPP communicators also speaking, because they see that there's not a leeway for them to make noise.
There's a lacuna.
There's a lacuna. And you don't have to create any lacuna in anybody's mind. It has to be straight to the point, so that this country can retrieve whatever we have lost.
Every field covered.
Every field covered.
So the 40% crowd, it means that it's grounds to loot more.
Jesus Christ. People will begin to loot left, right, center. Can you imagine the national service? We understand 548. Calculate 60% of it and look at how much will be left for these people to go and enjoy. Easter, they went to go and see how they spended the money. And you must fast track the things. Because the more you delay and there are occasions, the more they spend the money. You may not retrieve the monies. You understand? And I also disagree with the former Attorney General that STM must be released. What is he talking about? Even on the basis of the 60%. Let's granted that we're going by the principle of 60%.
But still had to go to...
Yeah, because it doesn't even amount to the 60%, because you charge him 19 million. If we were doing 60%, that would have amounted to 54 million, and he paid 39 million. So there is an outstanding of 15 million Ghana cedis. So please, though you shouldn't be doing politics with this. They should just go and relax, sit back, reflect on their days in office, what they got wrong, regroup themselves, and then maybe luck will smile on them.
By way of education.
All right.
By way of education.
We've had enough education on only prosecution. I said that's
briefly.
at the behest of the Attorney General.
Yes, you see, the mischief is to cure is malicious prosecution. It's very important. Because Prof was saying that, we are doing selective...
I'm not a prof. Don't let GTech come and take me to jail.
Okay, Doc.
But in the US or Canada, you'll be called a professor.
Okay, we are in Ghana. Don't let GTech take me to jail.
No, I'm asking. In the US and Canada, you'll be called a professor. You lived in Canada. I'm asking you, no.
Which one?
Will you be called a professor in the US
That's
or
if
Canada?
I was promoted. I'm a senior lecturer. I would have been assistant professor.
Okay, so Doc was saying we are doing selective... I'm just raising the point that the policy rationale for only prosecution by way of education is to cure malicious prosecution.
But this prosecution was not malicious.
Hold on. I want to give you instances. Like if you look at the Justice Kwekwe case, that's enough. To the extent that the former AG, then AG was saying that, look, there should be day-to-day, he was calling for a daily trial. When in the Domolevo case, the same AG took 6 months to respond. To the extent that by the time judgment came for Domolevo, the case became moot. You understand? And Dr. Punu's case, you could see that they were just bent on jailing the former minority leader at the time. So if we are in power, and we realize that these cases causes the state, because just as I said, investigation takes a lot of money. The same way, to go to court is very expensive. So if you are in power and you can do away with those cases that have no basis, what is the point? So
it's not selective. It does not apply in this particular case. It doesn't apply at all.
No,
investigation is finished. Prosecution is ongoing. It's not malicious. All the facts mentioned.
Who determine
let me read some messages. Let me read some messages, and then we'll try and.
I agree with that, not this one.
So this one is coming from Naneyao. That's Prince Naneyao York. He says, Papa Ro, the 60%, 40% will open a floodgate for corruption. Exactly. I agree with Solo. And then
I said it, not solo. I said it was wrong.
Okay.
They are giving you credit for what I said.
What did you say?
Okay.
You should accept the 60%.
Okay.
I
Okay.
said it.
Okay.
I spoke first.
Okay, it's okay.
Oh,
it's okay.
give it to him. I don't have a
Give it to me.
problem.
For the
I'll
first time, no, I think for the third time on the show, whether it's Key Point or here, Jebuntie Zato and King Solo, they are agreeing. Okay, so let me just read this again. Prince Ane York says the 60% and 40% will open a floodgate. I agree with Solo and in context with Jebuntie Zato. Is that fine?
Yeah, it's fine. Because I said it first.
Mr. Clue says that is Dr. Zato real that the 24-hour economy should have taken off immediately the NDC administration took office? The expectation that it should be rushed so that it crashes just like the one district, one dam, one constituency, $1 million, one district.
You are criticizing Solo's former boss.
Okay.
Which one is that?
The one district, one factory.
No, he said one this is one down. That is not my boss.
What is one factory?
Okay, so NewDay says, Atukwe, good morning. We are happy the oral is bringing us some money for development. Okay, gentlemen, let me read some comments. And Andy, I see your message. Okay, so ask Dr. Zato, what is the logic in spending 10,000 Ghana cedis to save a 2,000 struggling economy? If you overspend and can't meet your expenditure, you find yourself in the states where you can't service your debts. If you reduce that expenditure by way of your revenue, like what is being done by Dr. Atuforsen, everything becomes equitable and people get to have some relative peace in their expenditure. Mani Nimani says, okay, I see your comment. Okay. If you take a case to court for over 7 years without evidence and no conclusion and it drags on and you can't get prosecution, why should another government come and waste more money to continue that same case or prosecution? Please read it out. I have. And, well, so I have this one also from... All right. Now let's go. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Just wanted to say something quick. It's not about it.
Shadrach, should I allow him?
Yeah, yes. Oh, no, we are sitting here.
Shadrach, I'm waiting.
Okay, so okay, let's go.
Okay, thank you. If you want to look... Okay, they said continue. You have special privileges. Please continue.
No, we just wanted to say I thank God that I'm meeting him here today. He was my student with the MA program in the Department of Political Science. Okay. And you see how brilliant he is because he benefited from the MA program of Public Affairs at the Department of Political Science. So if you want to be like him, wear suit and look big on TV, apply for the MA program in Public Affairs at the Department of Political Science.
He's a good lecturer.
Yes. Oh, he says I'm a good lecturer. Say it, let him hear.
He's a good lecturer. He will win the primaries and lose the election.
You see,
he will win the MP primaries and lose the election. But he's a good lecturer. He's a very good lecturer.
Okay, those online who said I'm not good, you see, testimony. It is what they call it, testimony, right?
Okay, we're going. If you want to look smart and fashionable, visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. And Woodin, I tell you, they have some great fabrics, well designed as well, very colorful, because they offer amazing collection of authentic African fabrics, all ready to wear, coming in beautiful designs and colors for men and women. And with Woodin, you can get creative and versatile with your designs as well. And so be confident and show off how truly African you are in their designs. Woodin. Go to a Woodin boutique near you today and then get to choose from their variety of trendy products to complement your unique style. So you can follow them within fashion across social media, and they tell you always within Le Creator. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest sports headlines. Stay with us.